Hi you guys, welcome back. So hopefully by now you've chosen what it is you're going to do for your final performance. We want you to have the best chance possible of really doing yourself proud with your act, so this video is about how to practice. Practicing is literally just doing something over and over again to make it better. It sounds kind of boring, but practice is the magic ingredient that separates someone who can't really do something from the top professionals in the world. Each time you do an action, you're training your brain to create a new pathway. The more you repeat the action, the stronger this pathway gets until that action just feels totally natural. If you walked across a field loads of times in the exact same place, the path would gradually get clearer and wider and easier to walk on every time you did it. And speaking of walking, you don't actually think about putting one foot in front of the other every time you walk, do you? But when you were a little kid learning to do it for the first time, you certainly would have had to have thought about it. Now you've just done it so much that you can do it without even thinking. Practice is something you want to make into a habit, and there are a few little things that you can do to make a habit stick way more easily. Number one, make it obvious. Put your instrument or whatever you need to do your act somewhere really clear where you can see it and not tucked away out of sight. Number two, make it attractive. Set yourself up a really nice place to practice in. If it looks like a cool place to be, you'll want to be there. 3. Make it easy. Get everything you need and put it within easy reach so that you don't have to stop mid-flow because you have to go and get something. Also, really important to make sure that you've got peace and quiet so you can concentrate. Number 4, make it satisfying. So try and turn your practice into a bit of a game. Think of some sort of treat that you don't have that often, like just a really nice long bath or just chilling out in the garden for ages with a good book. And then tell yourself, if I practice this many times this week, I'm going to treat myself to that. No guilt whatsoever. Next up, I've got some quick fire tips for you that are really going to help you when you're actually practicing. Tip number 1, break it down into chunks. Whatever it is that you're practicing, don't always try and practice it all the way through. Do like smaller sections at a time so you can really focus on the detail. Some bits might be harder than others, you might need to practice them more. Tip number 2, if something is quite tricky, do it in slow motion. If you get really good at doing it in slow-mo and then speed it up, it's going to sound way, way, way better than if you just try to do it fast straight away. Number 3, if you are getting stressed or upset, just stop. You don't have to force yourself if it's not working on a particular day. Everybody has their good days and their bad days. If you start feeling downhearted, remember to think about your journey, not your current results. Just give it time. Tip number 4, if you're not able to get your normal practice in, try visualising practicing. There was a scientific study to do with basketball, so they split people into 3 groups. One group practiced every day, one group just visualised practicing every day, and then the third group didn't practice at all. And by the end of the study they found, obviously the group that didn't practice at all, they didn't get any better, but the ones that visualised practicing, they improved almost as much as the ones who actually practiced. So visualising doing your act is almost as important as actually doing it. Tip number 5, keep notes on what you've done so you can see how far you've progressed. You could do this in a nice notebook with a pen or maybe just the Notes app on your phone. That way, if you're feeling like you're not getting anywhere, you can just look back on your notes and see how far you have actually come. And now, things for you to do this week. Number 1, collect all the things that you need to help you practice and make your nice practice area. So if you're playing an instrument or singing, you might want a music stand to put your music or your words on. If you haven't got one, find a table, stack some books up, lean things against it. Make sure things are comfortable and that you can see what you need easily, because if you feel uncomfortable when you're practicing, you're more likely to stop and you won't do it for as long either. Number 2, work out what is the best time of day for you to do your practice. It's not the same for everyone. It's really good to try and stick with the same time to do your practice, because that way the habit is more likely to stick. So experiment with different times and see what feels best for you. And number 3, film yourself. Now, I don't want you to worry, doesn't have to be good quality, doesn't have to be all set up nice or anything just yet. Doesn't even matter if you can't actually really do your thing yet. The point of filming yourself at this stage is only so you can see what it looks like from the audience perspective. And don't worry if you don't like how you look or how you sound, because nobody really does. So get ready, I'm going to count you down. Here we go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go!